Tucker and Frank on the phone. We're waiting for Anthony. Maybe he'll join us at some point. So tell me, obviously, first question, how did LS Dunes get together?
Well, I think Tucker really started it, to be honest.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, so even before the pandemic, I wanted to start another band for fun, you know, whether it was like, so many bands were doing this, like, or not bands actually, but DJs doing like emo night, you know, and I was like, you know what, like, they're getting such huge crowds. What if we just started a band that did all these covers, you know, kind of like Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, but for this genre. And I thought it would be fun. And, you know, I had talked to Frank about it, and I think you were down, or maybe you were just humoring me. I'm not really sure.
I just like playing with you. I'll play with you. I don't care what you want to do.
Same. But, you know, that idea kind of fizzled out before the pandemic even happened. So then once the pandemic hit, like, I just got hungry to write music. And I was talking to our manager, Paul, about it. And, you know, we kind of came up with the idea of like, I'm the kind of person that, like, I have an idea, but I'm not a finisher. You know what I mean? I need somebody to, like, take it to the next level for me. So my manager, Paul, was like, dude, just call everyone. So, like, of course I called Frank. You know, I don't even think I called you. I think I just, like, was like, yo, let's do this band. You're like, I'm down.
Always.
And then Travis is a good friend of ours. He lives nearby. And then Tim from Thursday, you know, obviously he's been my brother in rhythm for the past 100 million years. So I just figured that it would be a good fit and he'd be down. And yeah, we just decided to write some music together. And I think we always knew that Anthony was going to be the singer, but I don't think he knew that. So we kind of did it under the cover of darkness and formulated a couple songs before we sent him anything. And then once he got it, the three of us kind of decided that, you know, we wouldn't tell him who was in the band until he sang on a song. So, and here we are.
Oh, there he is. Hi, how are you?
What's up?
You guys recorded the album in what, Philadelphia or somewhere? Pennsylvania?
Conshohocken.
Okay, wow.
I know.
Why there?
Because Will Yip was there. So Will Yip was recording out of Studio 4 in Conshohocken. I didn't know this before we recorded with him, but apparently that's where, like, Boys to Men recorded all their stuff too. I know.
Nice.
So
we wanted that Boys to Men
that's
sound.
the sound. That's the sound.
Crisscross.
Crisscross was there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was working at a Studio 4 down there. And Will was a guy that I'd wanted to record with and work with for a long time. He was a name that was always just, like, kind of around. And I loved the records he was making. Anthony had worked with him before, so when I brought it up that I always wanted to work with him, Anthony was like, oh, that's the guy, man. Like, I already have a relationship with him. I love working with him. He's fantastic. We should all hang out and go see him. And we hit it off really, really great the first time we hung out.
He's one of those guys that's hard to get in with, you know what I mean? Like, hard to book time with. So I think that the Anthony in kind of got us in a little bit quicker. So thank you, Anthony.
I heard that you guys traded files back and forth through Dropbox so much that you called yourselves the Heavy Metal Postal Service. Is that true?
That was actually the working name of the band for a little while.
Yeah.
All right, so Frank and Tucker, what is your favorite Circa Survive song that we're going to play on the show?
Oh, I don't know names of songs. The one that Anthony sings.
I like the one that
Anthony sings.
I like the one that you do that the first couple lyrics, and then yesterday is the first, like, kind of thing that everybody sings.
Oh yeah, Get Out.
Get Out. Yeah, that's my jam.
That's the jam.
Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
I can't.
So what does this band allow you to do that you don't get to do in your day jobs?
Hang out with Tucker and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, man. Like, you know, this band started a lot like your high school band would have started. It's like, oh, these are my friends. You have an instrument? Oh, your brother has an instrument? Oh, you play this? Oh, let's get together and we're in a band now. Like, so that's kind of like how this all started. Was like, these are the people I text and talk with on a daily basis anyway, and they happen to play music. I play music. We should start a band.
Is it freeing to start a band with no expectations? You guys all have their bands that have had success, and now you get to do something on the side. Is it liberating that way?
Absolutely. You know, I think that this sort of offers us all the opportunity to do what it is that we feel most comfortable with. You know, in our other bands, as you grow, you get to know everybody's tastes a little bit, and you can think like, you know, this guy doesn't like it when I scream as much, or every band kind of has their own weird relationship with each other. And starting with something brand new and starting with the idea that everybody just wants to, you know, wants everyone to do the thing that they love the most, that's a cool foundation for a band. you know? So I feel like that's the thing that it offers us.
Yeah, almost no riff went, unworked on. We kind of entertained everything. So it was really nice to not have not that any of our other bands has a ceiling, but like coming up with something that no one's heard before is hard to do in our own bands. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Right.
because everybody expects a certain sound. So kind of entertaining everything in this band was a lot of fun, and also a challenge to write. It keeps you sharp.
Can you explain the album's artwork to me? There are 5 kind of flower-looking things. Who did the artwork?
Tucker's good friend.
Yeah, my best friend Gordon Douglas Ball. He lives in LA. He's the painter, and I've always found his stuff really, really, not just because he's my best friend, but it just spoke to me. And then one day we were at Frank and I were together at Frank's house, and we were just going through his stuff and trying to figure out what's this going to look like, what's this band going to look like, and we stumbled upon these 5 poppies that Gordon had done prior, and I immediately texted him. I was like, "Hey, can you create something for us?" And he literally came back with that, a couple days later, and it was just it. I think we said
I thought
the
they
rest
were
of the band. See, it's open to interpretation.
Poppy flavored.
There are 2 songs out right now. I want to ask you about the song Bomb Squad. It starts off with a guitar panned hard to the left. Who's playing the left guitar?
That's me.
That riff's awesome.
Thank you. That song is funny, man. It's like, that was like a study in, all right, how, like, minimalism and how can you make one note go, how do you create a song out of, like, one note, basically? You know what I mean? Sometimes what I like to do is when you're hitting, like, a feeling of like a writer's block or something like that, I like to set up, like, little challenges or, like, games. Like, say, like, you take your guitar and you're like, all right, kind of how to play a guitar, how to strum it, and this is a chord, and these are, single notes and stuff like that. All right, but now if you took that guitar and treated it as a percussion instrument, like, how do you get something melodic or musical out of, playing it in a different way if you didn't know anything about the guitar? So that's one exercise you could do. I like doing things where it's like, all right, how do you write a song with 2 chords? You know what I mean? Like, just put yourself in a box and then see if you can work yourself around that. And that's kind of how I think Bomb Squad came about. It was just like, I had that riff, and I had, there was like again, something just based around E, and that whole song is really just based around E and variations of those scales.
And there's not a lot of rhythm guitars on that song either, I don't think, right?
No, it's funny, man. A lot of this record, there's not a lot of rhythm guitar happening. It's a lot of riffing, which is why I was so scared to write so much and then bring a singer in, but thank God it was Anthony, because Anthony's fearless. When Anthony came in, I was worried that there was too much melody and too many riffs and things happening. Like, usually when I work with a singer or something like that, like, they like to kind of keep it bare bones and then put their melody on top and then have you kind of fill in around. Anthony was never scared when there was like so much going on. He always heard something in there and was able to kind of float on top. And it was really a refreshing, amazing experience getting to work with everybody in this band, but especially like having Anthony come in at such a late date. It was just, it added such an amazing layer.
Are you not intimidated by competing melodies?
Not at all. I almost feel like it helped me in a way, because when I would listen to the songs, I would sit and listen to them once or twice. I could almost hear what I was supposed to do sort of in the mix already. There was like within the dissonance of everything and how it plays together, I could hear what like I was called to do on the song.
It's funny. Like, there was a couple of tracks that we wrote that I thought, this is the stuff that Anthony's going to come in and sing first. Those are the songs that he didn't touch. He touched the hardest things. Like, those are the hardest songs to sing over. He went for immediately.
I love the riffs. I love, I feel like Travis and Frank are just so good at, complimenting each other and at the same time doing something really, unique to each other. Mm-hmm. So I got lucky.
Anthony and Frank, what is your favorite Thursday song?
No answers.
Oh, I like Love Songwriter, Jet Black New Year.
Yeah, Jet Black New Year. Turnpike Divides is also incredible.
My God.
Damn, you guys know all the song titles and everything.
I had to
Huge
learn them
fans.
in the pandemic, that's why.
All right, Tucker, they listed like 5. So which one do you want us to play?
I say No Answers. That's my favorite Thursday song, if I do say so myself.
So good.
How How was Riot Fest? You guys just played Riot Fest recently?
Yes. That was a recipe for disaster. I mean, like, here's the thing. Your first show, it was like the 6th time we've ever played together in a room, and you have to throw and go at a festival outdoors. It was like, oh, if we're going to have a bad first show, this is going to be it. But it was amazing.
It was so cool.
It was the best first show I've ever had with any band I've ever been. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
I remember getting off stage, and the first thing I said to my wife is, thank God that we didn't have all day to wait for that. You know what I mean? Like, we played at 1 in the afternoon, so it was like literally wake up, get coffee, eat breakfast, and play a show. So I think if we had time to think about it all day and worry about it all day, it could have been a disaster. But the fact that it was kind of like throw and go, let's do this, I think really helped add to the nervous energy and the outcome of the show.
Yeah. There was a massive amount of people there too watching us.
I couldn't believe it.
I had sort of visualized it being early in the morning and having not that many people there. There was so many people there.
Yeah, it was shocking. I was definitely like relying on there being only 10 people.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not going to be that bad. There's only going to be 10 people. And we walked out on that stage. There was like thousands of people in front of like this smaller stage, and I was like, oh.
Why does that surprise you? You guys are all in tremendous bands that have had huge success. Why does it surprise you that people would want to come and see the new thing?
It's a festival. There's no supposed to be into like 4 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get that too.
You know?
You guys just announced that you were playing the adjacent festival, headliner Blink-182. How excited are you for the Blink reunion?
Oh, man. Is it going to be better than when you guys were together, like, the first time?
The first time that we got back together and toured with you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so, yeah. I mean, it's a giant tour. It's 2 years. We're going everywhere. We're going places we haven't been before. We've never been to South America, believe it or not.
There are no days off from that month either.
Yeah.
I'm excited that you guys are bringing out Turnstile.
Oh, me too. Yeah, me too.
That's going to be so cool. They're one of my favorite bands ever. I think that's just such a cool thing to see them, come up from like the, small scene, to like being, opening for one of the biggest rock bands in the world. It's pretty cool.
You mean when they opened for My Cam a couple months ago?
All right. So what is your favorite Turnstile song? We'll play that.
What's that one? Holiday? Yeah.
Holiday, we'll play Holiday. That's a great song. Frank, what was your first guitar?
Fernandez Strat copy, lawsuit Strat copy with jumbo frets.
Where'd you get it?
My dad bought it from his guitar player in his blues band.
Oh, your dad played in a blues band?
Yeah, so my dad played drums, or plays drums still, but he was in a band called the Paul Plummerai Blues Band, and Paul Plummerai was the guitar player and singer, and he sold him like an 80s Fernandez copy. And that was my birthday gift when I was like 12, I think.
So you've been playing since 12 years old?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Like, I always wanted to be in a band. I knew that. Because, like, my dad played drums, my grandfather played drums, and they just had this secret language. They would talk about shows and gigs and guys that they played with, and I would go see them all the time, like, on the weekends, and if I stayed up late enough, I get to go to the diner afterwards with all the jazz musicians and stuff. And it was awesome. So I always wanted to be in a band, but I didn't know what instrument I wanted to play, and I know I didn't want to play drums because I wanted to write songs and I felt like I needed more melody. So I finally came to guitar, and it was like one of the things that I just like would put on and pretend to play in front of the mirror, and then put it and then shove it under my bed. And then I told my friend in grammar school that I played guitar, and then I told him I was really good, and then he told the teacher, and then that meant so like at the graduation there was going to be like a big thing, like a display, and they're like, "Oh, who plays guitar?" And he was like, "Oh, Frank plays guitar." So then I had to learn how to play guitar to be in the graduation performance, and I loved it so much I never stopped. So that's how it went.
Tucker, where'd you get your first drum kit?
Oh man, I bought it from my friend Mike Fullington in high school because we started a band called Turnbuckle.
What was it called?
Turnbuckle, like not to confuse with Turnstile, but Turnbuckle.
I love that.
It was a straight edge hardcore band, and I was the singer. And I quickly realized that I couldn't sing, and he quickly realized he couldn't play drums, so we traded. And it was a Tama Rockstar white And I played it for years. I borrowed $600 from my mom, and we fought over it, and then she finally gave it to me, and here I am.
I can't believe you used to sing for a band. That's so cool.
Oh, it was like one day.
Anthony, how'd you get into singing?
Well, when I started, I wanted to be in a band so bad when I was a kid, just because it was like you had friends. It was like immediate friends. And when I met people that played instruments, I had the bass. And I had a friend that played guitar, and he had a friend that played drums, and nobody would sing. Like when we got together to hang out, like nobody would do it. They were like, it was like an embarrassing feeling, I think, that happens. Like there's like it's a weird thing to sing, And I just didn't have that mechanism that got like embarrassed by it or felt weird about it. I was like, I'll do it. I always thought of it as like a placeholder. Like I'll sing until somebody else gets there to sing. And it was mostly screaming back then too. So it was like, whatever. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually it sort of developed into a thing where I started singing melodies and writing like, stuff I would listen to. Went from being very heavy to being more melodic, listening to like, Promise Ring and Sunny Day Real Estate. I can remember listening to Cave In on like a song where in the very middle of the song, Steve Brodsky would just start singing a melody, and it would just happen for a couple bars, and then they would go back into screaming. And I was like, man, that, juxtaposition was so cool, and I started to just rip off my favorite singers, Bjork and PJ Harvey and stuff like that.
Tucker and Anthony, what is your favorite My Chemical Romance song?
Teenagers is great. That actually the new song, The Foundations of Decay. Is that what it's called?
I bet that.
I think that's the best My Chem song ever written.
I agree with that.
Have all of you served time on the Warp Tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Indeed.
Would you do it again?
Well, it's not happening again, is it?
No.
Is this an official offer?
No. But having done the Warp Tour, I've done the Warp Tour probably 4 times. How many have you guys been on?
Probably 4 or 5 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
don't know.
There.
I guess I could do it again if there were other bands on it that I was like, oh yeah, I could spend the summer with these guys. Like I could probably do it again, but it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
It is super grueling, and I think that we all can owe a lot of friendships to that
Totally.
tour. So just for that alone, I think I would revisit it. But it is, I don't know, as a 75-year-old man that I am now, I think it's pretty brutal.
It's a young person's game.
It is a young person's game for sure. When you guys are touring, do you have a specific bunk that you call?
Yes.
Do you go for a specific bunk? Frank, what do you go for?
Middle, passenger side, back.
Middle? What do you mean middle? You guys don't do condos?
Well, we did on the left or
come on, not everybody can do condos.
Normally, I'm talking
if
about
it is a condo. I'll take bottom.
You just bunk shamed us. I will not be bunk shamed.
Are we doing Euro too? Because Euro is different.
Oh.
So usually it's definitely got to be passenger side. It's got to be either middle or bottom.
Okay.
And towards the back more. I like to get towards the back.
I'm bottom, back, passenger side.
Hey, that's me. Same.
Yes.
We could never tour. You and I could never tour together.
Passenger, middle, front.
Okay, cool. And what do you keep in your bunk?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah?
Yes.
Suitcase, shoes,
clothes,
all of it.
shoes,
Everything.
cords, miscellaneous cords.
I don't like being that guy that has spread out all over the place and people are like trying to whose pants are these? Like, I'm not that dude.
Definitely
Okay.
not.
They're probably my pants. Just that I know it's a hypothetical question.
I can tell you
Even though it's a hypothetical question, it's my pants.
Hypothetically, I'll take those pants.
Living on the bus with Anthony for the past couple months, it was definitely his pants and his guitar without a case in the background.
I like that you tour like a crust punk, dude. Whose dog is this? Man, Anthony.
Sorry, my dog.
Last question. You guys are on the bus. It's after a show. You're traveling to the next venue. 3:00 in the morning. Bus pulls into a truck stop. What snacks and drinks do you come out with?
Arnold Palmer.
Like fountain drink or like in a can or bottle?
Oh no, yeah, like the Arizona Arnold Palmer.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it.
If they have the can, I'll take it's still 99 cents. But if it's a giant, if they have the bottle, I'll take the bottle.
Okay.
And then as far as snacks, if we're at a rest stop. If there's like a weird M&M flavor or Oreo flavor, I have to try it.
Okay, like stunt eating kind of stuff. Like if it's candy corn flavored M&Ms.
Oh yeah,
you're going for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta try it. Yeah,
That's
they
true.
made a
I've seen
Rice Krispie treat Oreo once that was unreal, and then I
Okay.
never saw it again. Yeah.
All right, Anthony.
I just discovered these things, and they're made by Spray, and they're like ropes. They're like, it's basically like Twizzlers, but they're filled with like a white goo.
Okay.
Spropes.
They're so good.
Nice.
I like that. Twizzlers, gummy bears. I'm trash.
Okay. Tucker, you get the last word. What's your snack?
It's gonna be an Omega and trail mix. I know it.
It is an antioxidant trail mix, but no, generally, I think everything else can go off. Peanut butter pretzels is number one.
Oh
always.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Peanut butter stuffed pretzels.
The perfect grab is 4 in the hand. That's the grab.
I almost died eating those pretzels. I was all by myself, and I took a whole mouthful, and I was trying to get it down, and I was like, I'm choking, and I got like, I was seeing stars. Like I finally worked some of them out and got it down, but I was like, holy shit, dude, I almost just died alone in a hotel room. Like,
We're not allowed to
Oh,
eat
no.
them anymore.
chocolate pretzels.
More for me and Frank.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for your time. It's great talking with you. Ellis Dune's album, Past Lives, is out on November 11th, and Permanent Rebellion and Bomb Squad is out right now. Stoked to see you guys, and we'll see you at Adjacent Festival.
Thank you
Looking
so
forward to it.
much.
Thanks.
Thank
Appreciate it, you guys. Take care of yourselves.
Later.
Take care.
Yeah.